Market update for Bitcoin. What's happening here? Am I panicked? Am I selling everything? Should I be getting out of the market? Is it over? Ugh. Well, let's have a look. First of all, we had a beautiful rejection candle here. Not so beautiful maybe for some of you. We had a rejection inverted hammer candle here, which was the sign of me telling me that this is going to keep pushing down. Strong sellers pushing down. So we're having a pullback here. And if we just take this weekly swing here from the Fibonacci, we hit the 618 perfectly. The 618 is a very, very common sort of pullback zone that we pull to. If I swing it from here to here as well, shock horror, boom, 618, we push up. So this pullback right now, from a technical perspective, is very standard. We're just coming into that 61.8 to 0.618 range, right? Which is also a strong area of interest. We are, after falling below the 50-day EMA again. So that is a little bit not ideal. We want to hold the 50 EMA, as you can see here. We want to be above this. This is for a bullish market. So that's something we want to see reclaimed. Now, I do think that we could potentially pull right back into here to 107, and there's liquidity below here as well. So if we had a pullback and a wick like this wouldn't be the end of the world for me. All right, that's not the end of the world for me. But what I do want to stress is there are certain points here in the market where, you know, we have to be like true with ourselves and call it, you know, and you're probably not going to see a lot of other traders or content creators, whatever you want to call them, influencers. I don't see myself as an influencer. I see myself as someone who's just trading the market and trying to educate people. But anyway, I suppose I am. What am I saying? But anyway, look, we don't want to see, there's specific levels here. Obviously, this is a huge structure level here, right? And the reason I've game over here is because this is a weekly swing point. If we lose this point, then the weekly chart is going to go bearish. And that is a very, very strong pattern that we don't want to see. So line in the sand for me, 100K, 101K, you want to be watching that. And then for sure, if we lose this range, 75K, that's just triple confirmation that we're probably going to be going down for a while. But they are the two zones I would be looking at. As of right now, look, we had a nice little inverted head and shoulders here, pulling back in. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bounce here. I don't think it's going to come quick. Usually September ends red. It's usually a red month, so we could pull back to the middle of October. So you want to watch those ranges, but you can see the weekly as well, stochastic turning around on Bitcoin. But the weekly and the daily are in a buy zone. These have historically been the best times to buy into the market, But even actually at a glance here, you can even just see the daily strength just coming lower and lower and lower. That's just from a regular RSI. Now, this is a bearish divergence. So price goes up, and the momentum is coming down. We want to see a reset here. We want to see a reset like this where momentum comes back in. And how are we going to know when momentum is going to come back in? By the way, we are coming into a buy zone. So how do we know? Well, the only forward-looking indicator we can ever really look at is volume. Volume has been my lifesaver here and my really, really key part of my strategy. Understanding what the whales are doing, understanding the big volume in the market. And I was saying to my private community, I give updates every week. We do live calls. You know, so if you want to get involved with that, there's links down below to join my private academy. But I've been pretty spot on. You've seen me publicly say I'm buying here and selling here. You know, I stick to my word. And really, you know, we cannot say this is a really good time for the market, that the market's going to bounce back. We can't say that if the volume continues to drop, because volume, my analogy I use is like a table, okay? Volume, the market is the table, or the price is the table, and the volume is the legs. So the volume or the legs hold the price up. The whole, like legs on the table, hold the table up. If you start taking away these legs, eventually the table is going to fall over, isn't it? And that's exactly what happens here with price to the upside and to the downside. But the beautiful thing about this is, and one of the reasons I sold right here was because I could see volume coming out. This represents all the whales, all the 100K orders and above. And you don't want to be trading against the smart money, against the smart whales, about the guys who have 100K orders and above, those $1 million orders. You don't want to be trying to outsmart these players. They are the guys who move the market, not you. And you can see retail going short here now. But I do think when we see volume on perpetuals and we see spot volume come back in, we're going to start moving up again. That's safe. That's like the safe part for me to say, okay, I think we're moving into this final leg. But we haven't seen that just yet. ETH, I mean, can I curse here? It's a bit of a shit show. Again, open interest coming back down, volume plummeting. Now, I have my eyes on 4K ETH. I said that to my community. That's the first range I would be looking at entering the market. Again, nothing here is financial advice. This is just my own thoughts. 3,500 is another key range, and we could get a very, very fast capitulation here with volume so low. Now, with volume so low, the upside move can be very fast as well, but I want to see this at least tick up first, price kind of mess around, not do much, and then you'll just see a pop and everyone will be wondering, oh my God, why is the price exploding? I don't understand why. We know why, because we're goddamn tracking this stuff. All right, that's it, folks. Trying to keep it simple. We want to see volume come back in. We want to see momentum on the daily come back in. These are key metrics that you want to track, key data you want to track. What's going on under the bonnet of the hood. You know, it's just so important that you know what's going on with the market. And this is exactly what we saw here, where volume will tick up. That doesn't mean price is going to move up straight away, but there will eventually be a pop. Like, for example, you'll see volume push up, and look, price continued to drop, but the whales were eating it. Eventually the sellers run out and then pop out of nowhere as volume pushes up, price explodes, and then you'll see price push up and have a major pop, and that's when all the smart money start to get out of the market. Leverage contracts get closed, spot positions get sold. It's not instant either way, up or down, but this gives you, which is good because you don't want it to be instant. You want it to give you a heads up. And so we cover this weekly inside the Academy in more detail. If you want to get in on the live calls, links are down below to join the Academy. I know it's Thursday, so have a great weekend. If you are interested in liquidity pool stuff, then send me a message on Telegram or send me an email at steveteachescrypto@gmail.com. Very limited spaces. Prices will be going up next week as well due to demand. But that's what we're looking at. If we look at some of the other stuff here, I mean, everything's just going to represent really the same situation. Yeah, total tree just pulling back as well into a nice zone. Others pulling back as well. Everything's just pulling back. Look, the market just follows Bitcoin, right? So we just track Bitcoin for the most part. Obviously keeping an eye on these charts as well. That's it. Hope you have a great weekend.